We will chant the prayer. Sit up straight. Asato ma sadagamaya tamasor ma jyotir gamaya mrityorman amritam gamaya Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Gurudeva Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Om Shanti 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 is not separate from silence. When you are silent, you are doing nothing physically, mentally, or emotionally. Only in the absence of doing, who you are resurfaces and shines, reveals the solutions where there are problems, happiness where there is unhappiness, and love where there is hatred. And it happens because perceptions are in the eye of a perceiver. You have created a shift in the perceiver. So reactive perceiver is continuously shifting from what it likes to not liking what it likes. What it is attracted, not to be attracted. And those shifts happen all the time. So when you enter into witnessing presence, that you are silent, non-doing presence. You enter into zero stress, because doer is already in stress, And when we try to get rid of it, it creates more stress. Silence is a whole new dimension of the being that humans are not aware of. But we are human beings that are doing to get somewhere in the linear dimension of time, and being potential that we are is non-doing presence. It's going nowhere because it's everywhere. How can it go somewhere where it is not? Understand the difference. So many problems, millions and millions of problems that cannot be solved by doer can be solved by understanding who you really are, the non-doing presence. Jai Babuji. We are all born with both of these dimensions. The doing dimension is necessary and already inborn within us. And along with it, non-doing dimension that is also inborn as a divine potential. When doing dimension goes in the wrong direction, only non-doing dimension can bring you back to the source of loving presence within. Thank you. Do you get it? You have two of them, the doing presence and non-doing potential. They are born within all of us. Doing is necessary. Why? Because human beings are born and an next evolutionary freedom beyond the subconscious animal body. So we have an animal inner body. We call it subconscious autonomic nervous system. Human beings have evolved with I am awareness. But at this stage of evolutionary growth, the humanity is born with I am awareness identified to say I want to play out with my freedom to create what I want. That means most humanity are living at the stage of I want to be the creator. And I want to create myself what I like. And I want to use the energy of consciousness. So it is using the energy of consciousness to create what consciousness was creating. So consciousness is already inborn within us as a creative force that is non-doing power, that is doing all the work of animating the body through the non-doing power of autonomic nervous system. You see, that's non-doing. Did you know that? So non-doing presence that I am is doing without our doing. If you understand that, then the presence that is within us is manifesting as a doing presence. But it is autonomic doing presence, because it's life impulse coming from the non-ego, we call intuitive dimension. So non-doing is coming from the higher, for its own source of oneness, and then it manifests it divides itself into the polarity of male and female. So in potential it is unified, male and female. The yogis call it Ardha Narishwar Shiva. Shiva is half male, half female. Some of you might have seen some of the ancient paintings, even in other cultures, half male, half female. So when it manifests in the body, the male is separated from female. And male is same consciousness, the presence that I am is dominating the subconscious sympathetic nervous system. Means its impulses are automatically converted into life-giving functions by parasympathetic nervous system. So parasympathetic nervous system is the energy medium, female medium, through which the male creator creates everything in the whole body of creation, including our own body. Then yogis also perceived Pinde so Brahmande, what is in our individual body, is in the cosmic body. If you understand this, the cosmic creator that is within us also, has descended into and manifests through the subconscious body and bringing life and animating the body. So through the body we perceive external world through the five senses. But the I am, this in human beings, that is, I am my ego mind, they are already identified, they are already playing with energy, and they are playing with energy to create their own happiness and bliss. So that means the subconscious is already in bliss. Subconscious means where animals, all the entire creation, mineral life, plant life, animal life, they are all called Garden of Eden. And human beings have the complete freedom to choose. So once you choose one part of what you like, you created another part separated from the one you chose. In subconscious, male does not choose. It is the cosmic intelligence. There is no personal choice. In your subconscious, there is no personal choice. Do you understand? And subconscious automatically accepts anything that I am says. Right now is the most important statement now. And if I identify I am angry, then if you identify, you are the central now, I am angry, then parasympathetic nervous system say yes. It will not say, sir, you are not doing right things for us, and I'm going to mess up your body, and you won't like it later. Nothing. You have to know that ahead of time. So this ego mind that has lived in separation from the source of loving presence, I am, that is in sympathetic nervous system, that has created two within us. So, and then Christ says, you cannot serve two masters. And these are the two masters. So then he also says, unless you die, you cannot be born again. He says, the real master, let the master That's not the real master. Die so you can be born again. But how can you let it die? Unless you die. But that is the secret. This is what this yoga that masters, our lineage teaches, came out from. So how to let go of who you are not. So that means in the psychology field, they do not know that there is two in you, and psychology says that there is ego-mind, but they do not clearly give you the understanding that there is another part of you that you know nothing about. Therefore, entire life is spent identifying with who you are not. That means your entire life is dedicated to whatever who you are not says, you think you need to get that done. And what it says has a truth. That is why the prayer says, lead me from unreality to unreality, lies to truth. And the mind is always telling you lies about who or what is present. So, if you withdraw that mind from lying about who or what is present, then you release the energy that is trapped when it was in the past. You had a reaction to who or what is present. So past is all living in each one of us as a compulsive, habitual, self-destructive habits and behavior pattern that we identify as myself. That's it. So we live with who we are not, and if you believe that that's who I am, then that's all you do is whatever it says that you believe and that you make a room for and live for. So if I say nobody loves me, then your energy will block out certain sensitivity in your body. So you can live with those people within sensitive barriers, but you feel now safe. Do you understand the difference? So anytime you say people don't love me, you will create barrier between you and people in general so that you will become like a lonely person. That some people, have you seen some people who committed crimes and did bombing and killed people, and they say, oh my God, I saw he was just like a really nice person and always himself and did nothing wrong, but they lived in the isolation to protect themselves. So it was denied, suppressed. So they live in separation from themselves and from the people. See, if you're separated from yourself, you're separated from others, which is automatic. So what does that mean? The part of you that is separated from who you really are is, how did it separate? Whenever you had a reaction to who or what is present in your past, in your love life, family life, work life, in the past, you just created separation in the past. So when past is triggered by someone or something in the present, the past resurfaces and reacts to the present. So this is the present. Now, this is the very important part I want to explain. What appears in the present is the effect. The cause lives in you, the reactive perceiver. Same thing, that is why in the practice of I Am Yoga, when you see an edge is the perception of the reactive perceiver in you. Edge is also outsider, created by The reactive perceiver means what appears on the surface of the body in the form of tensions, obesity, diabetes, or any problems. They are the edges that appears outside to the reactive performer inside. That is why when you practice I am yoga, and when in a popular practice, if they come across the edge in their body, the ego mind becomes edgy with fight or flight reaction. And when it fights, it says, I got the job done. So that means this is what happens in life. Every time you see somebody outside to whom you react, you are reacting to the edge, which is the effect causes in you. So if you react to that, that means you are reacting to the illusion, the mirror effect of who you are in. And how can you, like if you are reflected in the mirror, and if you want to change yourself, you don't go to the mirror, you use the mirror to change yourself, right? So in this, how not to react to your edge that appears either in your body or in the other people. But they are the effects, they are not the cause. Therefore, effect can be changed. It is okay to change effect, but it will not go away because cause lives in you. Unless you change yourself, effect will not completely go away. So quite often we forgive the effect. That's not completed. It is the cause is in you. So more than so-called forgiveness, knowledge of who you are is more powerful. Forgiveness of when you forgive other, you have done only part of the forgiveness. The real forgiveness is you, in you, who is living in separation from the source of loving presence within. So when you know the truth, you are already forgiving yourself and the other, which is so much more than the forgiveness that has been not used properly. The real forgiveness would be all-inclusive. Do you understand? But most people won't get this. So this knowledge of who I am is so important for you to solve all the problems that appears into 1,000 different ways, in 1,000 different situations, in 1,000 different relationships. They are only living in you, in one between you and yourself. Did you get it? So this is one stroke change that changes all your relationships outside. One stroke. I mean, how much easier can it get? So why? Because if there are 100 manifestations of my self-rejection, guilt, and my own separation from myself, then as a reactive perceiver, I will see it coming from everybody else. So if I can just change from my father, it will still be with my husband, my children, and my friends, and my business. I haven't solved anything else. Just it will go away from the father, but everywhere I still have to work. So when you remove the effect, you remove every one, 99 remains the same. Do you get it? But if you change yourself, the reactive perceiver, you are just simply eroding all the reactive perceptions that you ever had in the past, in any relationship, in any conditions you had faced in your past. Because they all live in you. That's why go to the cause. That does not mean ignore the effects. Actually, effects are the ones that reveal to you what you cannot see in yourself. Right? So mirror is revealing that you need to fix your hair. Don't break the mirror. So use the mirror to fix yourself. Don't break the mirror. Mirror is not it is revealing what you need to work on yourself. So mirror represents the fact, the cause is in you. Do you see? So you work on the cause and thank the mirror. Don't break it. Don't fight with it and say, how come? And then you say, you are a distorted mirror. I don't even believe you. I need to change you. So I want to find a clear mirror that just, like, who is seeing in the mirror? It's not the mirror. So they say, I'm going to have a new husband that it's not so distorted mirror. He would love me. You must be kidding. There is no such thing. You are everywhere. Because everything, the whole world is a one big echo chamber. Everything, if you say, I love you, it's just like everywhere. I love you, I love you, I love you. You get all the echoes. Same. Same thing with mirror. Any relationship, love life relationship, family life relationship, business relationship, social relationship, you are experiencing your relationship with yourself through those mediums. Do you get it? And then, why does it go wrong when you try to find the right relationship outside? Why? Because your inner relationship with yourself that is stored in the memory is of conflict. Conflict between you and your past. Why? Because it was perceived like you wanted happiness from other. So as soon as you seek happiness or love, acceptance, approval from other or outside, you are destined not to ever get it. You will never get it done. It is going to be incomplete experience. You try to get it, but you fail to get it. This is universal law I'm talking about. I'm not talking about some philosophy. So if I ask you, how many times some people got married 2-3 times? Some people got through 3-4 businesses. Some people did many, many different things to get the positive result. And anything that you use as an external medium or resource to find positive is always accompanied by negative effects. So that is why I say you will never get divorce from the husband you never got married to. Only from the one from whom you got married. That means from whom you had happiness, you got divorce. It is the universal law. So as long as you find, so who is trying to find it from other or outside? One who has separated from the source of love within is seeking through the resources of love outside. And in doing so, you move further away from the source called prodigal son. And then, doesn't it say somewhere, the prodigal son squanders the father's wealth? Isn't that say? They don't understand what that means. That means when the prodigal son is looking love and expecting it to come from other, what happens? And when it doesn't come, what happens? You say, you messed it up my life. I got married. I thought we had this understanding. When you talk like that, what do? This parasympathetic is the energy field of the loving presence. Now it is squandered by the ego that got frustrated about finding it from outside. That's real father's wealth. And they don't understand when that is precisely real, that you are squandering father's wealth means your life force, energy of parasympathetic nervous system. Do you see how these things, like how many people you think will read that and understand that? I got to understand that. When I started, it started with the awakening. When I got in touch with prana. Bapuji told me, I read it, but I didn't quite get it. So then, at that time, I had an entry point into understanding, but the experience revealed it. So that's why your understanding is there now, as I explained to you. But as you put it to test, experiment with it, then you will know. When your prana awakens and really moves spontaneously on its own, and you are not doing it, you got it. So then its life is a flow when it happens between who you are and what is present. So that is what you are experimenting and learning here in this philosophy of that is insightful knowledge of who you are. And that is, you are non-doing power of presence. But how do you don't know that until you let go the power of ego mind that dominates the sympathetic nervous system, dominates the body. So when you withdraw that, which is called surrender, which is called meditation, which is called witnessing the modifications of thoughts and emotions, when you do that, you are in the lap of the Divine Mother. The life will flow. So this is why when you learn how to interact with the edge that appears in the practice of yoga postures, you are just learning how to withdraw from reactive perception that is thinking like, this is really bad. I don't like this tension. I wish I had started yoga before. I haven't been able to change my diet. I've been trying so many. You start conversation. That means you're having reaction in the mind against the edge that triggered it. Edge didn't create it. Ego mind created it. But ego mind now comes back and criticizes its own creation. Do you understand? So ego mind, whenever you react to your edge, ego mind is reacting to its own creation that is deposited in the body. But in the body, how did it create? When it reacted somewhere in the past, anger, fear, jealousy, self-rejection, guilt, blame, shame, whenever you did that, it built into your body. But ego does not know that that is what built this edge in my body. So when it appears, what is appears? The edge it built into the body using the energy of the sympathetic nerve of consciousness, right? So it fights with it as if it is foreign to it. So you cannot solve the problem of the ego mind by the same ego mind that created to begin with. So we are using ego mind to solve the problem, which can be solved temporarily, means you can remove the effect, and that is what we do in medicine all the time. Medicine, whenever you are treating any problem, physical, mental, or emotional, you are treating the symptom. This is why the definition of yoga and Ayurveda is swasthya, being established in the witness, the soul that you are. Do you understand? So be the witness and then do whatever you need to do to remove the edge that has manifested outside. Now you can go to the doctor, go to get somebody's external medication also. But what did you remove by remaining witness? You removed the fear that fights the edge. Or self-rejection that fights the edge. Self-image that fights the edge. You remove that. Once you understand this, your yoga practice becomes a really constant practice on the mat. Now you can take it in your life. So, and then when you try it in the life, and now you know you are really removing from the one who caused it rather than one who mirrored it or triggered it. Do you understand the difference? So let's say, how many people you have had a bad experience in the past? Your father, your mother, your brother, your sister, your friends, your business associates, or any in society, anywhere. So, how would you solve how they feel about you? So, like I have a question. How would you solve what you feel about yourself? You don't like it, like how would you solve it? You don't like yourself, certain parts of you. You don't like your body. You hate the weight. You don't look right. I wish I had a longer, too much round face. I like the slim face, like the models. Like, how would you change yourself? It is the concept that is a problem. Conceptual understanding of others is a problem. So instead of trying to change other, that is not changeable. Haven't you yet realized that? How many times you thought other is a problem, now changing them is a problem, and you cannot change them, so problem you have is not understanding how it works. So once you understand that it is all the reactions that appears to be coming from the other are in the eye of a perceiver, reactive perceiver. Okay? So all that appears to be wrong in the mirror image comes from the one who is mirrored, and that's just the reflection, the reaction of the reaction that I have. You see? So why it is a reflection? Because everything that I think about you is my thinking. Therefore, I am reflected in you. Do you understand? And if you change thinking, you see reflection changes. Like you think your wife or a husband or children just messed up something. And then you are really, the reflection in them is like, why are you being this way? But you are thinking that way. And then somehow they said something, oh, this is the way it is. All of a sudden, your mind changed, now the reflection changed. Within just a little knowledge, like it was misperceived. So your misperceptions are become your reality, and all the suffering that you have is caused by your misperception of the reality that you are. And then you are playing it out outside, and then it appears outside. I don't know, what more can I say? When you find this out, it's so much fun. Like people are just creating nuisance of themselves and trying to solve it outside, so I can make more money and my problem will be gone. Or I would have a more skill so people will accept me, I will become more famous. No, problem is you are not okay with yourself. So we work on both, outside and inside. But priority, focus is inside, while in the world, everybody is solving their problem by changing the mirror. Because this mirror is too crooked. I want to find a better mirror. But they do not see. You are mirrored in the mirror. Does this take a genius to understand this? Now you're not a genius and you understand, right? You're just a regular person. But it does take a genius to remember it. So how do you remember is the next thing. How do you remember? Practice it again and again and again and again. Don't look for the result. That's what Patanjali says. Abhyasa and Vairagya. Practice without wanting to see the results come from the other or yourself. Just know the truth is working. That's it. So most people, they practice it and then say, I accepted my husband and he's not changing yet. I accept my children, but oh my God, they are even worse. Well, they are also very insecure. Your acceptance is another game you are playing to dominate them and abuse them. So they're not going to accept it unless you are real to yourself and keep it going regardless of the result, because internally you know the truth and you don't wait for the conviction to come from the other. Okay? You should know the truth and trust in the truth. You shall know the truth and truth shall make you free, not the results of it. Truth itself will make you free. If you are looking for the result, it will bind you again. And you are making it visible out of the invisible, trustable out of the non-trustable. It's trust is what requires. Faith is what it requires. Knowing that it works is enough. Okay. Anybody has any questions about what I said? I like to be questioned because you would like to be questioning your own self, which is natural. Because this is like a novice idea, but one thing that this knowledge cannot be delivered just by words. And our communion, we are connected because you are practicing how to listen from the vibrational energetic frequency. So you trust me. In other words, it's like trusting yourself. So if I can reach there and speak from there, and you can listen from the trust, you are establishing vibrational, energetic frequency level. So it is no longer a communion that happens at the level of the verbal level. This happens at the level of energy level. Do you understand? So that's what is called communion. That is what is happening right now. You are able to hear me because this is what is called trust and faith in the Guru. That is why they say, this path, you cannot enter unless you have faith in the Guru. Why? Because you have a lot of fear in your own past and future through the medium of the mind. What is trust? Go beyond the mind. Go beyond the fear. So that is what? When you go beyond the fear, who is left in you? The presence, right? So presence is the presence everywhere, and particularly with the Guru, because from there you are going to continue to receive guidance all along the way, where your own presence is still unfolding. That is why they say, if you are throwing stones in your relationship with the Guru, working only on the rational, practical level, even at that level, you cannot. Your energy frequency would be very different, and you won't be able to get it. That is why devotion and faith and love which is to be cultivated by cultivating it within yourself to the Guru within yourself. Do you see? Not with me only, but it happens through you. When you accept yourself, you accept me also. When you are rejecting your father, which is also rejecting yourself, then you cannot accept me. You cannot accept Guru or God even. Why? Because rejection of the parents means rejection of God in you. Same thing. That is why in India they teach your parents are your God and Goddess right from the beginning. Why? Because they are the first one you start hating and you took advantage of me, you abused me. That's where it starts in America. When I saw all that literature, I was in total amazement. I said, oh my God, they are also making it so real that all my problems I have now is because my parents messed up my life. But they don't understand this another dimension, that you are bringing your own karmic reactive perceptions with the parents, and that's what is creating such perceptions. So when you don't get your way, you say, my parents abused me. But your parents may be trying to guide you into the safety that they know how it works. Then you don't perceive that because you are still looking out for your freedom, so-called. But is that something wrong? No. That's why it is in childhood. But how could it be that way now? Now you know how it works, so let go. Same parents that you, in your childhood, did not let go. Do you see? In your childhood, he says, I was a child and they abused me. So what you are saying is, now that it has been built so strongly into me, I cannot let go. There is no such thing. You can let go just today as you could have let go in your childhood. But in childhood, you didn't have the knowledge. Now you have the knowledge how it works. Let go. Don't just excuse yourself like, my childhood, I couldn't defend myself. Now you are doing the same thing. Let go. With everybody. Everywhere. Yes, please. Come here.
Thank you. Is the speaker on? No?
Just tap it. Tap it. See if it.
I read your book on yoga and relationships, and it was kind of like how the biological kind of excitement fades away, and then for the long term is kind of presence and attention.
Right. Biological attraction is the most guiding force, and all the things that you are going to resist are already hiding right behind it. As soon as that biological gets repeated several times and it gets old, all the things that are in the background, reactions begin to come in.
I took some years ago psychology degree, and then I was explaining to my mother about Sigmund Freud, and I later think that he took some of his ideas from India or Tantra yoga or
Tantra, sexual.
Yeah, some like it is the life force and ego and superego, the three dimensions. And my mother asked me to explain it, so I said to her about the tendency for hysteria for women for the emotional part, and neurotics for men if they don't get their life force. And so it was like satisfaction of sexual pleasures, I said, was the main theme. And it's very much disagreed, I told my mother. And then she kind of reflected on it for a while and said, well, there is some truth in that. So I was very surprised that my mother would think this way.
No, because intuition, if they're open, the intuition knows the truth always. Like I told you all these things, some of you just first time when you heard, people tell me, they said, I've never heard this, but now I know exactly how it works. Because where did you know if you heard first time? Why would you trust it? Why did you feel that way? Because intuitively you always know. It does not mean like American intuition is different than Indian and German is different. No.
But I wanted to reflect also that there is 5 times more common, like epidemiological research shows, depression among women, loneliness among men is 10 times. So there is a different aspects of emotional energy expressed through being man and a woman. So we don't seem to dance together. So maybe it's more, I'm thinking about it, a man should be, and it relates to the Me Too discussion, maybe instead of changing women becoming more aggressive, determined, focused, it should be more the man should be less of a doer and go to
exactly.
parasympathetic.
You got it. So men are born as doer because they are like providers. They go out, go for hunting and bring food and create that out, and women do household chores to manage that. You see, this has been built into the psychology. That's what, even in the birds, the mother bird goes hunting and feeds the babies. Same thing. So we have animal body, human mind. So the human mind is no longer the I am awareness that is working on the sympathetic nervous system. It is depressed by ego mind in human beings. That's not done in animals. It cannot happen because they cannot function outside of instinctive dimension of survival. That's it.
If I just end with linking it kind of to practical, this like of a Western society, like we tend to be meeting at the lowest chakras. So instead of meeting and knowing each other as persons at the union, where the union is in the highest chakra,
right.
And then we're building up the trust, and then showering down to the lower chakras with deeper connection.
Right, lower chakras means ego mind is trying to work out everything outside. Attention is outside. I want to find the lover outside. I want to find better job outside. I want to find better home, attractive car, attractive dress. I want to be attractive by making things look like that. So attention is being outside, and the fundamental law is your energy follows your attention. So your attention is going down and out, and so is your energy down and out. That means first three chakra energy that is working in harmony with co-creation with the soul in your body is now used by ego mind, by same energy is squandered by ego mind, the prodigal son, in trying to find it outside, and because it's not there, it's wasted energy, and you lose your life looking for it outside, because all life is to be found inside. So if you surrender your ego, means surrender your attachments and fears that ego mind is trying to solve outside, when you let go of it, your energy that was blocked in your own body and mind gets released. And released energy by the direct connection with the soul now is got married to the soul and energy on a higher level, evolutionary level, and then that energy will move upward through Sushumna into heart and higher centers of integration, which is called the love will get denser and deeper into vertical zone.
Thank you very much.
So Freud might have, he might have read something and translated into some different way. So he then focused everything on the sexual energy, libido, and but he didn't see the part from where it comes, that is the superconscious state. So he used everything for therapy for people who were suffering from the lower chakra depletion and living in the lower chakra. So which is called anger and fear and jealousy, self-rejection, guilt, depression, anxiety. These are abusive use of lower chakra energy leads to the loneliness. And then we seek it from the alcohol, drugs, sex, dogs and cats, or whatever. Or some good job, or travel, or so many different ways. We fill that space. Thank you for sharing. Yes.
So I reported to you the other day that finally after 9 years, my children have some of my children have decided to start doing yoga with me, because I had kind of pushed them away. I was so excited about yoga, and they finally have started to, okay, maybe this is okay for me too.
Right.
It only took 9 years. And I wondered, what was it that changed that would let them do this? And you answered it today. First you said, know the truth, and the truth will set you free, not the results of the truth.
That's beautiful. You really caught it at the right place. That's beautiful.
And that has set me free, but they were still concerned that I might be using yoga to control them. You mentioned that about us, that, looking at our
Right,
own
that was
parents.
your thinking, like you're seeking end results or fearing the end result. Either one is a problem.
And as they were able to see in me, the change in me, and
They are watching acutely, rather, that you don't even know. Yeah. So if you're not real, they will catch it and look like Daddy is manipulating us.
Exactly.
Right.
To where my one daughter wouldn't even let me say the word yoga around her. It became a 4-letter word. But now they have softened, not because I got better at telling them about yoga, but because they were able to see the effect here and know that it wasn't that I was trying to change them or do something to control their lives anymore.
Right. So what I have seen in most of you, many of you would say that, my so-and-so saw me change. The mature ones will see the change and say, what are you doing? So they want to know. But children, they are not yet aware, but they also see, like if you are changed, they would want to change. And if you don't force them to change, they would want to change. Yes. So that's why when many people say how connected Kamini works with me or Malai works with me, they're just surprised because I never force them. Never. I don't want to change them with my reactive perceiver who is playing the role of a guru. I don't play the role of a guru or a father to manage their life. And yet, love them where necessary, make them feel comfortable where they need, take care of them in that way. So you do both externally, but not as a demanding to be certain way.
Not looking for the results.
Results,
right?
yes.
We have the right to action, but not the results of action.
Exactly.
And to love, but not expect something back.
To come
because
back.
That becomes a bargain.
Right.
Yeah. And it just...
So when you give love and expect it to come back, that means called blame or shame. You are just asking it to come back. If it doesn't come, you will say they are wrong. They don't understand and appreciate my love. Or I messed up, so there is a shame. It's the same thing that you are disconnecting from love if you demand the result of love from the others.
And you've said, I've heard you say these things before again and again. As I've been here a number of times, I've heard this once or twice.
But when you saw the results, it just falls in place more fully. So that's why I'm saying, when you go home, in your life, make consistent practice for 6 months or something. Just you're relentless. You're going to forgive, let go of them, just to let them be themselves, but not so dry that they feel like, what's wrong with you? Okay? So, but still loving in another way, non-demanding way, and taking care of them.
And I remember years ago you said, when I was initiated, you said, I'm not asking you to do anything for me. I'm asking you to practice, practice, practice.
Right.
And that's what you
Right.
asked us again.
In a real estate, it is location, location, location. And the real state of consciousness also, practice, practice, practice.
And it works.
This is also real state.
And it works. It is very effective.
Mm-hmm.
And as it says on the window over there, the knowledge of a property of a thing without the experience of the thing itself is as useless as no knowledge.
Beautiful.
And as practice, 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 everything is coming.
And this is so unique because I'm not telling you to practice meditation. Have you noticed that? I didn't say like sit for half an hour, which is also useful. But I taught you meditation in action. That's why early on I discovered the secret. That's why I called Kripala Yoga meditation in motion. That's the only way yoga can happen. And then, so yoga practice means reaction in action, which is popular practice is yoga means reaction in action, not meditation in action. That's why the doer is using the energy of consciousness to achieve some external results, which it can. Like you can lose weight, you can get healthier, you can be more flexible, you can win the competition of yoga in India, you can be all those things. But that is superficial, temporary solving. But inner conflicts, that you doubt yourself, you're afraid of doing things, that doesn't go away. And that sucks your life force and makes you prematurely old and miserable. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. Anybody else? Okay. I think we are satisfied audience. So this is to the masters and the gurus, guru within and gurus outside. Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudeva. 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 Jaya Guru. Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudeva. Jaya Gurudev. Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudeva. Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudeva. Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudeva. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Just drop into complete silence, non-doing presence, doing absolutely nothing. That means accepting everything as it is the invitation to non-doing power of presence. So acceptance is the first door. When you enter, and when you see how miraculous it solves all the problems that were in the eye of a perceiver. You are in awe to recognize the grace of the divine that already is always present and you haven't used it. More often you use it, more familiar you get to the divine presence that accepts and says yes to life in whatever form it shows up. Form is created by the reactive perceiver. Jai Babaji. Jai. So there are other programs that make sure you always continue to come back, because this needs follow-up and constantly feeding it. And when you come back, you just see how you see, because when you go away, practice, and when you come back, your grasping goes so exponentially greater. That's what you were saying. Go practice, and your listening will be very different. Yes. Okay. Jai everyone. Jai everyone.